Every summer, everyone is looking forward to the appearance of watermelons in the markets. The use of this product is unconditional, especially in the heat. However, in some diseases, watermelon can be harmful. We will learn how to choose the right watermelon and what can be made from it. Watermelon is a symbol of the Russian South and the most anticipated summer berry. The watermelon season is short, but bright. Every August, our compatriots strive to eat the pulp of these fruits for the year ahead. However, overeating has not yet brought anyone good. So in the case of watermelons, it is worth knowing the measure. We tell you why excessive fascination with these berries is harmful and what benefits can be obtained from moderate consumption of them. The benefits of watermelon. Watermelon is almost 90% water, so it quenches thirst so well. There are almost no proteins and fats in the pulp, but there are a lot of carbohydrates that quickly break down and give energy. This fruit is especially useful for physically active people. During training, a little watermelon juice or a whole slice replenishes the water supply and saturates with sugars. There is a lot of red pigment lycopene in the watermelon. Lycopene in the body is not transformed into vitamin A like other carotenoids. The pigment has strong antioxidant properties. Numerous studies show that a large amount of lycopene in food reduces the risk of heart and vascular disease. Some researchers even claim that the risk of prostate and intestinal cancer is reduced, but the sample among the subjects is too small to draw clear conclusions. Vitamins in watermelon pulp are contained in low concentrations. Vitamins C and A predominate, but watermelon is rich in minerals. It has a lot of magnesium that muscles need. Magnesium also helps to absorb calcium, without which the bones become brittle. Seeds are more saturated with nutrients than pulp. They contain a lot of folic acid and vitamin PP, as well as phosphorus and magnesium. It is better to eat the seeds dried or fried. Harm of watermelon. There is a misconception that since the watermelon consists almost entirely of water and is so low calorie, it can be eaten in unlimited quantities. But that's not true. There are a lot of simple carbohydrates in watermelon pulp, which increases the glycemic index. To remove sugar, the body has to spend a lot of water. So when overeating watermelon, the load on the kidneys is excessive. In addition, the necessary minerals, not only slags and toxins, are washed out with so much water. Watermelon is a good diuretic, but that's why it is not recommended for people with urolithiasis to eat it. It is possible to provoke the discharge of stones. And for late pregnant women, watermelon is also not desirable. They already run to the toilet. As a rule, quite often, there will be an extra load on the body. It is not recommended to treat small children under 3 years old with watermelon. Not because of the allergenicity, but because of fertilizers, nitrates, which are used in the industrial cultivation of watermelons. And adults, for the same reason, are not recommended to eat watermelon to the crust. It is in these layers that harmful substances are deposited the most. Application of watermelon in medicine. In official medicine, watermelon also uses bones. Oil extract is used for kidney diseases. Due to the diuretic effect and increased excretion of uric acid, the kidneys are cleaned of sand. Such a remedy can only be used as prescribed by a doctor. Decoction and compresses from watermelon crusts and pulp are used to accelerate the healing of wounds on the skin. And the seeds are breathed like tea leaves. How to choose and store watermelon. The watermelon season begins in August. Before this time, fruit ripening is accelerated by fertilizers, so such a purchase can be dangerous. On melons, where watermelons are grown, nitrogen fertilizers are used almost everywhere. The plant processes them and removes them, and the excess remains in the form of nitrates. A small dose of them is not dangerous at all, but in immature fruits, nitrates may not have time to be removed. That's why it's not worth eating unripe watermelons. Often poisoning when eating watermelons is not associated with nitrates at all. Many people do not wash the fetus too thoroughly, and when cut, the bacteria get inside the pulp and cause poisoning. Watermelons grow right on the ground, so they need to be thoroughly rinsed. The skin of the watermelon should shine and be rich green. There is usually a stain on one of the sides. In this place, the watermelon was in contact with the ground. It's good if the stain is yellow or brownish, not white. The tail of the ripe watermelon is dry, and there may be dry thread-shaped strips on the surface of the peel. When hit, the sound is voiced, not deaf. Uncut watermelon at room temperature can be stored for a couple of weeks. In a cool, dark place, suspended from the ceiling, the fruit persists for several months, although it loses some of its useful properties. After opening the fruit, the pulp should be covered with a bag or weathering film. In this form, the watermelon will stay in the refrigerator for up to 4 days. The history of the appearance of watermelon in nutrition. It is widely believed that watermelon is the largest berry. However, botanists still do not agree on which type of plant it should be attributed to. Watermelon is called both a false berry and a pumpkin because it belongs to the pumpkin family. South Africa is considered to be the birthplace of watermelons. All species of this berry come from one ancestor growing in the Kalahari Desert. The predecessors of watermelons bear little resemblance to modern the usual red fruits. Initially, there was very little lycopene in the watermelon, a pigment that stains the pulp. The wild fruits were pale pink, and it was not until the 20th century that breeders had bred red watermelons. Watermelons were cultivated in ancient Egypt. Seeds are found in the tombs of the pharaohs. Images of watermelons are found on the walls of tombs. Watermelons are cultivated all over the world, especially China, India, Iran, Turkey. A lot of watermelons are grown in the warm regions of Ukraine and Russia. Watermelon festivals are held in some cities and countries. There are also monuments to this berry in Russia, Ukraine, and even in Australia and the USA. Fruits are valued not only for the delicious pulp. They serve as an excellent basis for carving, artistic carving on products. And the sound engineers of many films use watermelons to get the sounds of beats, splitting stones, and others.